Buried alive by husband and mistress, wife was rescued by a farmer who changed everything. Before we start the story, please comment from which country are you watching, also subscribe the channel. It was a crisp Thursday afternoon in late October when Sophia Bennett pulled into the driveway of her suburban New Jersey home, a day earlier than planned. Her business trip to Boston had wrapped up ahead of schedule, and she'd caught an earlier flight, eager to surprise her husband, Daniel. The house was unusually still as she stepped inside, her suitcase wheels humming softly against the hardwood floor. "Daniel?" she called, her voice echoing in the quiet. No response. She dropped her keys into the ceramic bowl by the door, noticing 2 wine glasses on the living room table. One had a faint smudge of coral lipstick, a shade Sophia never wore. Her stomach tightened. A muffled sound from upstairs broke her thoughts, voices, then a laugh. A woman's laugh, familiar yet jarring. Sophia's pulse quickened as she climbed the stairs, each step heavier than the last. The bedroom door was slightly ajar, revealing a trail of clothes, a man's tie, a woman's silk blouse. She recognized that blouse, vibrant red, always paired with a smug smile. It belonged to Claire, her friend of 4 years, the one who'd hosted brunches and listened to Sophia's work frustrations. With a trembling hand, Sophia pushed the door open. The sight froze her, Daniel and Claire tangled in the sheets of their marital bed. For a moment no one moved. Daniel's face shifted from surprise to a chilling calm, his eyes narrowing. Claire pulled the sheet around herself, but her expression wasn't guilt, it was a smirk, cold and deliberate. "You weren't supposed to be back until tomorrow," Daniel said, his voice steady, almost rehearsed. Claire's laugh was sharp. "Guess the cat's out of the bag now, huh?" Sophia's mind reeled. "How long?" she whispered, her voice breaking. Every moment with Claire, every coffee date, every late-night call about Daniel's distance, flashed through her head, now laced with betrayal. "Long enough," Daniel replied, standing, his tone devoid of remorse. "You should have stayed in Boston." Sophia turned to leave, her legs unsteady, desperate for air. But as she reached the staircase, a shadow loomed behind her. Before she could react, a sharp pain exploded at the back of her head. The world tilted, and the last thing she saw was the floor rushing toward her. Two miles away, Caleb Morrow sat in his battered pickup truck, parked along a quiet road. The farmer's weathered hands gripped a thermos of coffee, his eyes fixed on the Bennett house. His face, lined from years of sun and worry, carried a heaviness beyond his 38 years. On the passenger seat lay a worn notebook, pages filled with dates, times, and observations about the house's comings and goings. For 3 weeks, Caleb had been watching. Not out of curiosity but necessity. A month ago at a local diner, he'd overheard a voice that stopped him cold, Claire's. She'd been his fiancée 5 years earlier before she vanished, taking his savings and leaving a note that read, "Don't look for me." He'd rebuilt his life slowly, tending his family's farm, but the wound lingered. Now, seeing her in town, calling herself Claire Dawson instead of Claire Morrow, stirred something fierce. She was cozying up to Daniel Bennett, a slick real estate developer married to Sophia, a respected lawyer. Caleb's instincts screamed trouble. He'd started trailing Claire, piecing together her lies. Overheard snippets in cafes and parking lots painted a grim picture. Talk of removing a problem and a clean start. Claire's voice, once warm, now carried a ruthless edge. Tonight, as Daniel's sleek BMW pulled out of the garage, Caleb's gut churned. Through the windshield he saw Claire in the passenger seat, and in the back, a bulky shape wrapped in plastic. His hands shook as he started his truck, following at a distance through the fading light. Daniel drove with precision, his face unreadable as the BMW wound through rural roads. Claire fidgeted, checking her phone. "You're sure she's out?" she asked, voice low. "She didn't move when I dragged her," Daniel said, clinical. "The sedative's good for hours." Claire nodded. "And no one saw?" "Garage was shut. Neighbors are away. It's handled." The car turned onto a rutted path leading to an abandoned quarry, a place Daniel knew from a failed development deal. Isolated, forgotten. Caleb parked far back, lights off, heart pounding as he watched them unload the bundle. In the glow of a flashlight, they dug, their movements practiced. Caleb's mind raced. Call the police? But what proof did he have? A farmer tailing his ex for weeks sounded unhinged. He crept closer, hiding among the pines. The bundle went into the hole and Daniel's voice carried, "She's gone for good now." Claire's reply was eager. "No more playing the doting friend. We're free." They shoveled dirt, smoothing the ground, then drove off. Caleb stood frozen, the weight of what he'd seen sinking in. A faint sound snapped him back, a muffled thump from the earth. Someone was alive down there. Sophia awoke to darkness and cold, her head throbbing. Her hands were bound, her body cramped. She tried to move, but would pressed against her shoulders and forehead. Panic surged, she was in a box, buried. Her breaths came fast, shallow, burning her lungs. She forced herself to focus, clawing at memories, Daniel's cold eyes, Claire's smirk, the blow. Her fingers, though tied, found her phone in her pocket. The screen's glow was blinding, revealing rough planks and nails. No signal, but the light showed a knot in the wood, a weak spot. In her hair, a metal pin from her updo. In her other pocket, her keys, the jagged edge of one promising. She worked the key against the rope, ignoring the pain as it cut her skin. After agonizing minutes, the binds loosened. Using the key and pin, she attacked the knot, dirt trickling in with each scrape. Her nails tore, fingers bled, but she kept going. The phone's battery dropped, 15%, then 10%. Oxygen thinned, her head swimming. She whispered to herself, "Keep fighting, Sophia." Caleb dropped to his knees, clawing at the dirt with bare hands. The thumping was faint now, urgent. He found a broken shovel nearby and dug, sweat mixing with fear. The blade hit wood, a crude box. He called out, "Hold on, I'm here." A weak voice answered, "Please, hurry." He pried at the lid, nails screeching. With a final heave it gave way. Inside was a woman, dirt-streaked, eyes wide with terror and relief. Sophia squinted against his flashlight, gasping, "Who? How?" "Caleb," he said, lifting her gently. "You're safe now." She was light, trembling, her skin cold. He carried her to his truck, wrapping her in a blanket. As he drove to the hospital, she murmured about betrayal, her husband, her friend. Caleb's jaw tightened. This was Claire's doing and Daniel's. He wouldn't let them win. The ER buzzed as Caleb carried Sophia through the doors. "She was buried alive," he shouted. Nurses swarmed, whisking her to a gurney. A doctor fired questions. "Name? How long was she under?" "I don't know her," Caleb admitted, dirt caking his hands. "Found her at an old quarry off Route 9. Homemade coffin." Shock rippled through the staff. A nurse called the police. Caleb sank into a waiting room chair, exhaustion crashing over him. His phone buzzed, his farmhand wondering why he'd missed evening chores. He ignored it. This was bigger. Detective Laura Hayes arrived, her gaze sharp. "Mr. Morrow? You found the woman?" Caleb nodded, recounting the night, careful to omit his weeks of watching Claire. He said he'd been driving by, saw suspicious activity, investigated after the couple left. Hayes scribbled notes, her eyes catching the dirt on his clothes, the raw skin on his hands. "You didn't know her before tonight?" she asked. "Never," Caleb said, holding her gaze though guilt gnawed. He'd known enough to act sooner. Hayes nodded. "The woman's Sophia Bennett. Stable but critical, dehydration, hypothermia, concussion. We're looking for her husband, Daniel. Not answering calls, car's gone." Caleb's fists clenched. "Hope you find him." A nurse interrupted. "Detective, Mrs. Bennett's awake. Wants to see the man who saved her." Sophia lay in the hospital bed, for dripping, monitors beeping. Her hands were bandaged, her face pale, but her eyes burned with clarity. When Caleb and Hayes entered, she fixed on him. "You're the one who dug me out." "Caleb Morrow," he said, shifting under her stare. "How did you know where I was?" Her voice was hoarse but direct. Hayes stepped in. "Mrs. Bennett, you've been through hell. Maybe focus on recovery first." Sophia ignored her, eyes on Caleb. "No one just stumbles across a grave at midnight." Caleb hesitated, Hayes' hand near her holster. He sighed. "Claire Dawson, she's my ex-fiancée. 5 years ago she cleaned me out, disappeared. Saw her in town recently, calling herself Claire, cozy with your husband. I followed them. Heard things. Tonight I saw them bury something. Then I heard you. Sophia's face hardened. Claire. My friend. I caught her with Daniel in our bed. He hit me. She asked if he'd taken care of it. Hayes' pen paused. You're sure it was your husband? Sophia's laugh was bitter. 7 years married. I know his hands, his voice. They planned it together. Hayes nodded, jotting notes. We'll find them. And Claire Dawson? Caleb tensed. Sophia noticed. You reacted to her name. Why? He swallowed. She's not just Claire Dawson. She was Claire Morrow when I knew her. Hayes' eyes narrowed. We need everything on her, Dawson, Morrow, whatever else. I'm putting out an APB on both. Sophia sat alone later, replaying Caleb's words. Claire, her confidant, had been a lie. Daniel, her partner, a monster. She closed her eyes, seeing the coffin, feeling the dirt. Anger steadied her. Caleb, meanwhile, sat in his truck outside the hospital, unable to leave. Guilt gnawed. 3 weeks he'd watched, saying nothing. He pulled out his notebook, flipping through entries. Claire at Daniel's office, their hushed talks in cars. He should have acted. Detective Hayes called him back in. We found Daniel's car at JFK. Footage shows him and a woman, likely Claire, boarding a flight to Panama City last night. Used their own passports. Cocky. Sophia, discharged against advice, insisted on seeing her home. Hayes escorted her, yellow tape crisscrossing the door. Inside, the house felt alien. Wine glasses still on the table, fingerprint dust everywhere. Sophia went straight to her office, a lawyer's haven of files and screens. Her computer hummed to life. Someone's been here, she said, noticing shifted folders. She dug into financial records, her jaw tightening. Hayes, look at this. The detective peered at the screen. Over 8 months, $3.2 million had vanished from joint accounts, moved to offshore shells. Signatures, supposedly Sophia's, were off, the curve of the B too sharp. He forged my name, she said. And here, my life insurance beneficiary changed to a non-existent charity 6 months ago. Hayes snapped photos. Download it all. Sophia found more. Panama property deeds purchased with her money. Their escape plan, she muttered. Then in Daniel's desk, a photo, Daniel and Claire on a yacht, dated 2015. 3 years before Claire met me. Hayes studied it. This wasn't an affair gone wrong. They targeted you. Sophia sank into a chair, the betrayal crushing. Years. They planned my death for years. Caleb's farmhouse was cluttered, tools on tables, papers strewn. Sleep evaded him, images of Sophia's dirt-streaked face haunting. A knock startled him. Hayes, holding his notebook, left in the hospital. Interesting stuff, she said, flipping to a page on Claire. Care to explain? Caleb exhaled. After she left me, I tried to forget. Seeing her again. I had to know what she was doing. Hayes sat, pulling out a file. Claire's linked to 3 cases. Rich men, dead under odd circumstances. 2014 Florida. Edward Klein, heart attack, left his estate to Carla Dean. 2016 Texas. Mark Reynolds, car crash. Cynthia Holt, got his insurance. 2018 Oregon. Paul Weaver, overdose. Chloe Vance, vanished after his funeral. Caleb's stomach dropped. She's a killer. No hard proof, yet, Hayes said. But a pattern. Daniel's her latest partner, or Mark. She handed him an envelope. Sophia asked me to give you this. Inside, a note. Caleb, I found something. Meet me at Miller's Cafe, 6 p.m. Sophia. Miller's Cafe glowed with warm lights. Caleb found Sophia in a corner booth, coffee untouched, a tablet beside her. She looked better, color in her cheeks, but her eyes were fierce. You came, she said. Your note wasn't optional, Caleb replied, sliding in. You okay? Like I was buried alive 3 days ago, she said wryly. But I'm here. She tapped the tablet. I've been digging into Claire. Her pattern, inserting herself into lives, building trust, then striking. Klein, Reynolds, Weaver, she was there, different names, same game. Caleb scanned the files. She did it to me too. Played the damsel, got me to propose, then took everything. Sophia nodded. With me she was the perfect friend, sympathetic, always there. But this, she showed texts from a burner phone in Daniel's desk, planning Panama, mentioning S and the farmer. They were tracking you, Caleb. You're a loose end. He froze. Me? You could ID Claire. They wanted you gone too. Why now after 5 years? Because of me, Sophia said. My firm's assets, our properties, $8 million total. I'm her biggest score. Caleb leaned back, processing. They're in Panama thinking you're dead. Sophia's eyes gleamed. Not for long. I'm going after them. You're kidding. I'm not. I've booked a flight tomorrow. Detective Ortiz in Panama's expecting me. I want to see them arrested. That's crazy, Caleb said. They'll kill you if they spot you. I spent hours in that box, Caleb, thinking I'd die. I won't let them walk free. She paused, holding his gaze. Come with me. You know Claire better than anyone. You could spot something I'd miss. Caleb hesitated, the farm flashing through his mind, crops, debts, routine. But Claire's smirk, Sophia's fight, burned brighter. All right. But we play it safe with the police. She extended a hand. Deal. Understood. The Panama villa overlooked turquoise waters, its glass walls reflecting wealth. Daniel poured rum, handing a glass to Claire. To freedom, he toasted. And buried problems, Claire added, smirking. Daniel paced, uneasy. No alerts from the house system. It's too quiet. Claire squeezed his arm. Relax. She's gone. In a month, this is all we'll know. A phone beeped, security footage from New Jersey. Activity at the house, Daniel muttered. Police. Let them snoop, Claire said. They'll find nothing but dirt. Sophia and Caleb landed in Panama City, humidity wrapping them like a blanket. Detective Ortiz met them at a bustling cafe. Mrs. Bennett, Mr. Morrow, he said, eyes scanning the crowd. We've got eyes on the villa. Daniel's jumpy, packing, calling contacts. He knows I'm alive, Sophia said. No proof, Ortiz cautioned. But something's got him rattled. Caleb frowned. A leak? My team's clean, Ortiz said. But Daniel's got money, connections. Sophia's voice hardened. Can you arrest them? Ortiz sighed. U.S. warrants stuck in red tape, 24 hours, maybe 48. Without it, I need a local crime. Sophia leaned forward. The villa's bought with my money, forged transfers. That's fraud here, right? Ortiz nodded slowly. If you've got evidence. I do, she said, emailing Hayes for the files. Ortiz's phone buzzed. He showed them airport footage, Sophia clear as day. Daniel's got access to immigration systems, Ortiz said. He saw you arrive. Sophia's blood ran cold. Her phone pinged, an image of their cafe table sent from Daniel's email. He's watching us. Ortiz stood, hand on his gun. We're moving you now. Understood. A nondescript hotel room became their base. Sophia paced, Caleb by the window. Ortiz returned with news. Daniel and Claire were seen at a marina, prepping a boat. They're skipping the airport. Can you stop them? Caleb asked. Not without the warrant, Ortiz said. Coast Guard's tracking, but if they hit international waters. Sophia's phone rang, Daniel's voice, smooth venom. Sophia, you're resilient. Who dug you up? Not cops, we monitored radios. Doesn't matter, she snapped. You're done. Are we? Claire's had many names. Ask your farmer friend. Caleb stiffened. Let me talk to her. Daniel chuckled. She's here but not nostalgic. Says you were too soft. Ortiz signaled, call traced. It's over, Daniel, Sophia said. Police are coming. Too late, he laughed. We left the marina yesterday. You're chasing shadows. The line died. Ortiz cursed. The boat was gone, heading south. He knew our moves, Sophia said. Someone's feeding him. We keep pushing, Ortiz said. Warrant's close. Sophia stood. I need air. Understood. In the hotel courtyard, Sophia sat, Caleb joining her. In that box, she said, fear turned to clarity. I won't let Daniel scare me off. Caleb nodded. Survival strips you to truth. She met his eyes. Daniel mentioned a fallback, a cove near Bocas del Toro private dock. You thought I forgot. The southbound boat's a ruse. They're going north. We tell Ortiz, Caleb said. No. Daniel's got a mole. We go ourselves, confirm, then call. Caleb exhaled. That's nuts. But it's our shot, she said, standing. I've got a car ready. He followed, knowing she was right. The jungle road to Bocas was rough, moonlight guiding them. Sophia navigated, Caleb drove. They ditched the car, trekking to a cove where a yacht gleamed, new dawn. Through binoculars, Caleb saw Daniel and Claire packing, urgent. We call Ortiz, he whispered. Sophia checked her phone, no signal. Voices carried, Claire sharp, new passports by dawn? Daniel nodded, typing. Flight to Bogota, then Dubai. Sophia's eyes narrowed. No extradition. A flashlight beam cut through, security. Senor Bennett, perimeter's clear, a man said. Caleb pulled Sophia back. We're boxed in. She grabbed a rock, tossing it far. The guard chased the noise. They ran, but a branch snapped, another guard closing in. Caleb whispered, Beach. I'll distract. He crashed away, drawing pursuit. Sophia limped to the shore, but the yacht's engine roared, lights blazing. Claire stood on deck, gun in hand, scanning. Caleb doubled back, spotting Sophia pinned by the yacht's searchlight. He flashed his flashlight, pulling Claire's focus. Sophia darted to cover but tripped, crying out. Claire's voice cut through, Daniel, it's Sophia. Daniel steered the yacht closer, face grim. Sophia scrambled up, ankle screaming, diving into bushes. Caleb reached her, whispering, We're trapped. He spotted a shed, old, wooden, with fishing gear. Inside they hid, catching breath. Sophia found a flare gun, rusted but loaded. A signal, she said. Footsteps neared, Daniel, flashlight sweeping. He entered, inches from them. His radio crackled, Claire, found a bag on the path. They're at Coral Sands Hotel. Daniel barked, dock the yacht. We end this. He left. Sophia exhaled. The yacht's radio, our chance. Caleb nodded. We hit it when Claire docks. They circled through jungle, reaching the dock as Claire tied the yacht. Sophia aimed the flare gun, firing into distant trees. The blaze drew Daniel's men. Claire froze, radio up. Caleb sprinted, boarding silently. Claire turned, gun rising. Caleb. Shock betrayed her. He grabbed her wrist, shot firing skyward. They wrestled, her strength fierce. You were supposed to give up, she hissed. Sophia climbed aboard, ankle throbbing, shouting, Claire, it's me you want. Claire spun, gun wavering. Sophia stepped closer. Daniel thinks you're partners. But I know, Klein, Reynolds, Weaver. You use men then ditch them. Claire's mask slipped. Smart girl. Too late. Is it? Sophia pressed. Daniel's checking accounts, isn't he? Doubting you? The gun shook. Caleb lunged, knocking it free but tripped, hitting the throttle. The yacht surged, snapping a mooring line. Claire tackled Sophia, hands on her throat. You should have died. Caleb abandoned the controls, prying Claire off. The yacht hit rocks, throwing them. Claire grabbed a bag, passports, cash, and ran for the stern. Caleb stood, gun in hand. Stop, Claire. She paused, defiant. You won't shoot. No, he said. But I won't let you run. The yacht sank, water rising. Claire dove, swimming not to Daniel but away. On the dock, Daniel saw rage erupting. He fired at her, bullets splashing. Sophia shouted, Daniel, no. Police sirens wailed, Coast Guard lights flooding the cove. Daniel ran, but Claire emerged, blocking him. They faced off, guns drawn. You betrayed me, Daniel snarled. You were the mark, Claire said, firing at the ground. Run. He fled, she dropped her gun, playing victim. Police swarmed, buying her act, until Daniel's shouts echoed, She's the killer. Check her names, Carla, Cynthia. Caleb and Sophia, rescued by Coast Guard, watched. She's slipping through, Sophia whispered. No, Caleb said, patting his phone. I recorded her. In a Panama hospital, Sophia typed furiously, compiling evidence. Hayes visited, flowers in hand. Daniel confessed, she said. Claire's act is crumbling, your files, Caleb's recording, Daniel's testimony. Sophia exhaled. Others get justice too? Florida and Texas cases reopened, Hayes confirmed. You did that. Back home, Sophia launched the Horizon Fund, aiding fraud victims. Caleb, studying agriculture tech, co-founded it. At the launch, Hayes shared Daniel's sentencing date. You'll testify against Claire? Absolutely, Sophia said. On a campus balcony, leaves falling, Caleb mentioned his new Philly place. Close to you, he noted. Sophia smiled, hands touching. Partnerships built on truth, they last. He nodded. Together? Together. Their phoenix rose, not just a fund but them, rebuilt, stronger one day at a time.